Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people, wherever you may be, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome very much. Welcome very much. Yeah, welcome very much. Welcome back to the Red Room. Another episode of the Red Room is upon us, where we discuss everything Liverpool Football Club related, and there is tons and tons to get through today. And of course, when I am live in the Red Room, nobody likes me just talking to myself in a red room of echo. We like good people to talk to, and I have got some good people, and I've got some familiar faces, or familiar faces returning to the screen, as you see. And I'm going to go straight in. Instead of going to the people that have been on, I'm going to come straight in. I'm going to say, Cav, welcome. Ex-Red Fella, or ex-Red Fellas, because Red Fellas is no more. But you never know. We may bring that back, demand, and if the love is there. Cav, how the hell are you, fella?
I'm all right. Hey, look, the Red Fellas doesn't have to be something of old. If the people want it, Grizz, then they need to let you know. We'll bring it back. But I'm good. I'm great. Yeah, I think it's been not quite a year, but a long time since I've really been doing this stuff.
I'd say close to a year. Close.
It's really not far off. Yeah, it's really not far off. But nah, I'm not going to say I'm back. But look, I've got a place I can do these shows again and talk to you guys about football. And you know what? I couldn't not be ready because Liverpool are. I need to speak because there's so much to be excited about with regards to our team. So yeah, I'm so pleased to be back. I'm so pleased to be back involved again during a good moment and going into what looks to be such an exciting season.
Such an exciting season, such an exciting time to be a Red, and Red Room, Red Men, Red Fellas. Eroll's in the building as well. Red Cartel. What's going on, bro? Hosting big up shows on Red Men TV, taking selfies with the man of the moment, Rio. Not even the man of the moment, the kid of the moment, Rio. My brother Eroll is in the building. What are you saying?
Big up, bro. Big up. Yeah, man. Nice one for having us in. It's been, again, a bit like Cav. It's been a minute since we've had a little bit of a link up. I know we've been speaking on obviously back and forth over the last couple of days. So, yeah, so it'd always be good to just kind of jump back in on a show before the season kicks off and kind of get some of your feelings about obviously the transfer window, the sagas, the ins and outs, all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to getting into it. And yeah, I've been sitting on that picture with Rio for a while, we like obviously
you knew that's gonna come good one day. Because
yeah. Like it's obviously the old branding with Nike and all the rest of it, but I just knew, you know what, this kid's going to be special. So one day when he's on everybody's radar, we can upload it and say, yeah, we're proud to see. And again, that's only been 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months, and the growth in terms of what he's been able to do on the field in that time has been good to see. So yeah, like everybody, really excited, but really glad to be back with you guys tonight. So big up everybody, big up the panel, and of course the people in the chat. Make sure you are doing your admin nice and early, get those likes in, share the stream. You know what to do, run it up.
That's it. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking. That's what I love about pros, man. Everyone knows about the game, the business, straight into it. He knew what to say, when to say it, how to say it. People, as you're joining us, as you're coming into the stream, you already know the house rules. We don't ask for much. All we ask is for a share, a little like, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you haven't subscribed to Anfield Index, I have no idea what you're waiting for. Probably the most comprehensive Liverpool coverage that I know from the fan media circuit. So check them out and go and subscribe. We've got both Mo's in the building, so we have to differentiate Scouse Mo and Welsh Mo. Welsh Mo, what's happening? How are you doing? Hope you have been watching the preseason friendlies like you have been watching all the training ground videos and everything else. And I will get your analysis of what you thought so far, but fun, enjoyment so far, going well, right?
Yeah, going well. But I'm always a pessimist as well. So there's a couple of things I want to not get carried away with. I know we're all happy and all buzzing. And
we need an equalizer. Every panel needs an equalizer. Cav will smile and remember we used to have a lad called Conroy. I don't right? People now remember Conroy. Conroy was the equalizer.
Big up Conroy, man. Big up Conroy every time.
When everyone was getting carried away, Conroy would be like, guys, just calm down. Just calm down. We're not that good.
And then when Conroy was going, you thought, yeah, the shackles are off. We're celebrating tonight.
So we really always need an equalizer, I guess, Mo. But you can explain your reservations and thoughts and opinions. I'm looking forward to hearing from you as well. Of course, next to you is probably Mr. Polar opposite. This is mad the way I'm saying it. Scouse Mo's in the building. Scouse Mo, are we winning the quadruple after watching us in preseason?
We're winning the 6-2. We're winning everything. Nah, you know me, Grizz. Last season I was very optimistic because I just believed. But normally I'm a very realistic person. I'm quite pessimistic at times. But you know, last season's football was amazing, and you know, our pre-season so far has been really, really good. Yeah, loads to talk about. And if you don't mind, Grizz, the little shout out that I wanted to make in regards to so one of my good friends, Yusuf, is starting a new podcast. He's launching it this Monday. It's going to be launched on YouTube on Meet Talk Stuff TV. There's already some clips already on the TikTok channel. The TikTok channel is called Cuts Inside. So I'd appreciate anybody who's watching to just go over to TikTok, have a look at some of the videos that are on there. And then this Monday, it's going to be loaded on Monday. The full podcast will be there. I'll be featuring quite a lot. Yusuf, great football analysis, and a lot of lads from the area, from Talk Stuff, that are going to be on there. So I'd appreciate if everyone could just have a little look.
What have you
Cuts Inside, all one word.
Cuts Inside, all one word with a Z.
So so we know.
And the YouTube channel is called Made in Talk Stuff. So there's going to be other kind of things that are going to go on there. It's not Liverpool centric. It's going to be football focused. There's going to be all teams. There's lads from Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, United fans. Everyone's going to be on there. And then the Made in Talk Stuff YouTube channel is going to have different bits and bobs on there as well. The lad Yusuf that I just mentioned, he runs like a football team within the area. Really successful football team. He's built it from the
GTA. Big up the GTA, you know, dog. Come on. Come on.
So you're going to see some videos on there. Really big things happening. So I'd appreciate if everyone could just go over there right now, subscribe, like, but also make sure you're on here, Anfield Index, and like and follow everybody who's on the stream right now as well.
Well, there you go, people. You know what I mean? We're trying to build a community. Again,
was that professional enough? Or
you're a legend, man. You're getting better and better by the week. You're getting absolutely better and better by the week.
Far away from Eroll's level, but I'll get there one day, hopefully.
Nah, come on, Eroll's a pro, innit? You know what I mean? But you're working your way up. I'll tell you what, put the link in the chat while you're typing away and do that. So that would be good. Guys, we must get into it because we've got so much to get through. And I guess the first thing we need to discuss is Tyler Morton's just been announced. We discussed it briefly last week. I think Welshmo, I think we briefly discussed it. I'm not sure. Tyler Morton, 15 million, literally like every part of our business and everything we do at the moment is just puts a smile on our face and think, yeah, wow, fantastic work, right?
Yeah, brilliant. And I believe there's a 20%. What's the word?
Sell-on.
Fantastic business. When we spoke last week, I think the rumors came out that it was 10 million. We thought, well, it was a bit low. And all of a sudden, we've got 15, which is great. I think that's, an accurate price. And with the sell-on as well, which I think is even better. I think all parties are happy. He's a beautiful footballer. I just think he didn't get enough chances because we just had a beast of a midfield during the time he was here. But every time he did come on, and I felt he was comfortable, he played well, and yeah, he deserves a move. A lot of clubs were interested in him. A lot of clubs were. So I think picking Leon from his perspective and his development was something good for him. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm going to watch from afar, see how he gets on, and hopefully he cracks on and he becomes the player or develops into the player we all think he got capable of doing, or being. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Great move for all parties, though.
Great move for all parties, and Cav, that's the theme of the summer, I guess. Every deal was a great move for all parties. Literally, every time we speak about a transfer in or out, great move for all parties.
Yeah, and should we be surprised, really? This is kind of what we hoped for when we brought back in Edwards, is that we would start to, again, not that we've moved too far away from it, but again, do smart business that works, not big names, not not well, they have been big names to be fair, but big names that fit a plan, you know, and young players with talent that are about to explode and feed into not only the footballing style that our coach wants to implement, but the club's ethics as well. You know, good people as well as good footballers. So it looks like, and it's still early days for some of these guys, but it looks like every signing that we've made has been brilliant business. And those that have left us, it's been justified in one way or another. I think some fans may feel a little bit upset, perhaps Diaz going, because he was a very likable footballer, a lot of fan favourites. People could probably justify a place in the Liverpool squad next season for him, but a level-headed fan would also appreciate that there's some talent coming through, and I'm sure we'll speak about it, and a team that showed us yesterday that they are evolving and getting better, and some players will just have to move on because of that and other reasons. So Diaz moving on, Morton moving on. I'm sure that there'll be perhaps Nunez in the near future as well, but all justifiable, which means that we're doing some brilliant business at the end of it, really.
Yeah, business is the name of the game, Errol, right now. It seems off the pitch, on the pitch, everything seems to be smooth. People were questioning sort of what does Richard Hughes do? Well, you know, and first and foremost, he's sort of slowly but surely showing us his true class and why we recruited him. It shows that Richard Hughes wasn't just a sentimental decision just because he's Edward's boy. This guy, you know, when do you remember when Ornstein done an article on sort of about Richard Hughes doing amazing work behind the scenes and really well respected, and you know he's really highly thought of and he's been pressing everyone. This is what Orney meant, right, Errol? This is what he meant.
Mate, I'll be honest with you. I've been surprised. The fact that they've had a year to plan and prep, obviously because he wasn't overly active in the last summer transfer window, kind of led me to believe that the signings we were going to do were going to be, you know, improvements. They were going to be players that we'd be looking to drop into that first team. Obviously, we knew certain areas of the pitch and in terms of the team needed to have some improvements brought in as well. But in terms of the acumen as businessmen, in terms of what they're doing kind of from a technical perspective of future-proofing this team now, looking beyond the Salah and the Van Dijks in terms of who can we look to attract and bring in that can be the future talisman for Liverpool Football Club, and can we get them bedded in while we've still got the old guard here to kind of pass over the baton to them. I think that's just been excellent. And I go back to, you know, people who might have been in the chat might have heard me say it a few times now, so, you know, again, a little bit of an apology on this, but you don't sign Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk to 2 extra years if you don't promise them that you're going to bring them the goods home at the end of the day. And I think that was massive in terms of, that was the biggest indicator for me. Once I knew that they were staying, and you know we'd kind of sewn up those contracts, I knew we was on for a big summer because they're serious football players, and more importantly, with those being the 2-year contracts, it's about winning now. We are building to win now. So what does that look like? And in a world where you build to win now, you're targeting the likes of an Alexander Isak. You go out there and you sign a Florian Wirtz. You go and get 2 of the most upcoming fullbacks in European football that fit and can mould into the system that your manager is kind of building upon. And for me, obviously, there are other signings that we've done. Obviously, Mamardashvili was always due to land this summer anyway. But it's just how they've went about it. And you almost have that confidence. We've been a good selling club for a number of years anyway. But let's deep it. You have that confidence when them man walk into a room, it's because they know that there's a deal to be made. It's not we're just going to feel it out and we're going to throw out the feelers and we're going to test the water and we're going to just kind of, you know, bluff our way through some of these. No, these man ain't bluffers. These man ain't about here to play poker. This is 4D chess settings and chill. And that's what we've been on all summer. All of the moves that they've done, they've been well orchestrated. They've been well thought through. Up until this point, I don't think they've missed a step. And we do our business in such a fashion that a lot of other teams now would probably be panicking if they was in our situation with the whole potential the centre back not coming through the door yet and thinking, oh, I'm calm, bro. I know it's a foregone conclusion that we get our centre back. Now, there might be 2 or 3 on the list, and there might not be the one that everyone's expecting in the marquee, but they'll have done their due diligence. They will know who is the right one for us for this particular moment in time. And if it's not marquee right now, then I'm fine with it. Whatever decision they choose to make, that's fine for me, because they haven't put a foot wrong so far this particular window. So long may it continue, but it just goes to show the level of or the caliber of the type of people we've got in these rooms, in these dealings. These aren't no joke, man. These aren't no hype men settings. These are proper top Don Dodders, and they're doing the business once again. And as I say, we're in a much better mental for it. I think most Liverpool fans this summer have been really happy. Might be some reservations, but I think we've been really happy across the board. And I think that going forward, yeah, it's very promising where they're concerned.
Scousemo, we're going to continue the show and start as the banner says, Bilbao match analysis, and people will say which game. I think we're going to try to cover them as a whole, as a general point. Any indications in terms of what we'll do? We'll talk about sort of the lineups, and if there's an indication into sort of the Charity Shield lineup, and so we know kind of what the starting lineup's going to be. But let's go with the first game. I don't think I need to speak about what stood out, who stood out, but still, I don't know what it means when people say, "Is it too early to speak on this kid? Should we hold back?" What's your thoughts on it? Because I genuinely don't like going overboard. Like, I joke around on Twitter with rival fans and we have banter exchanges, right? I don't like getting carried away because we've seen so many kids come through our ranks, right? And I know you're the same as well, actually. But my God, this kid, 16 years old, he looks special, Mo.
No, this kid is the real deal. Like, he is phenomenal. 16 years old. And the way he's playing football right now is like he's in his early 20s. He carries the ball, the maturity he has on the field and everything. He just looks spectacular already. But I agree with you. We shouldn't get carried away. We need to remember the kid is only 16 years old. And we can't be expecting the world from him just yet. But in terms of like how we will fit into the squad for us for next season, definitely I can see him getting some more minutes in the League Cup games, FA Cup games, and even in the Premier League games when we've got like, say if we're winning like 3-4-0, whatever, in the second half, bring him on for 20 minutes, let him come onto the pitch, gain some experience. But this kid's future is extremely promising. He's amazing. That first goal that he scored yesterday, the goal that he scored yesterday, when he picks it up and he drives straight at the defense, and then without any hesitation, just slots it into the back of the net outside the box. 16 years old at Anfield. It was just like, what is this? Like, it's unbelievable. But then I also respect his mindset as well, because obviously we got him from Chelsea last year, and I feel like that was a big challenge for him. In a way, like, he could have stayed at Chelsea, but he's seen a route into the first team at Liverpool. It would be very difficult still at Liverpool, but like we know Chelsea, what they're like. They're notorious in bringing in a lot of players. The overhaul of players is quite constant. With Liverpool, there's always like an avenue into the first team. He's left his hometown where he's grew up, where his family and friends are, to move up to northwest of England, to play for obviously the biggest club in England. But he's challenged himself at such a young age because he believes in his talents. He believes in how good he is. He believes he can make a difference now, and we can see scope for him in the Liverpool team, in the Liverpool squad next season, because currently we've only got really Gakpo at left wing. He could be the understudy to Gakpo, and say, God forbid, but say something happens to Gakpo, then Ngumoha's minutes could also increase. He could see a lot of minutes next season, and I think that's like the route, the avenue that he wants to take. He's seen an opportunity at Liverpool. He thought, this is where I can excel, and I'm just so excited to see the future of him. And not just him, another one that really stood out to me in the first game was Trainiani. Like, that kid is unbelievable, honestly. How old is he? I think 17, 18 years old. You can see that he's bulked up a little bit from last season. Last season already looks like he's turned into a little bit more of a man. But it's the maturity level. When we bought this lad from Leicester, I'm pretty sure he came in as a right winger or a left winger, a winger anyway. And then he played a lot at Cam. Yesterday he was playing as centre back, and he was not phased. He was calm and he was composed. He was coming out with the ball. He was always finding the right pass. Those two, honestly, are really a breath of fresh air. but we also need to be very calm. We need to be steady with them, and their futures are going to be very, very bright.
Obviously, the best person to go to after that hype chat is Welshmo. Should we remain calm, or have you seen enough already to know? Because look, certain players, when you see something special, you're allowed to speak on it, because you're going to feel gutted that you didn't speak your heart. You didn't speak what you actually felt at the time. And I feel at the time of speaking, of watching and recording this, and watching him, how much I have, I genuinely think he has. I'm going to say it. I genuinely think he has the world at his feet. Oh, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm still going to stay on the hype wagon for now, because he does hype you up, regardless of, like, everyone's saying he's too young, and I get it, but this kid just keeps giving us reasons to get excited.
Yeah,
and if he keeps giving us reasons to get excited, then get excited. Let's have fun with it. And the way I look at it, every now and then Liverpool pick up generational players or youngsters, let's say Michael Owen and so forth. And if a Michael Owen like that gets discovered, then we just got to run with it, but learn from our mistakes that we've done before. And that's, i.e., Michael Owen overplaying them and burning them out. Modern day football, obviously, is a lot more medical things involved and a lot more techie stuff that helps us monitor all of that. So, but I just generally think, in my mind, I think someone said it in the chat already, and I thought, damn, you took my point away from me. I think he's going to get Chiesa's minutes straight away. I mean, Chiesa didn't get many minutes last year anyway, so you'll get Chiesa's minutes. And the early cup games, I think he's nailed on. And like, during a season, during a league, the odd 10 minutes there or 5 minutes here, there, when we're comfortably winning, I mean, you just bed them in slowly but surely, and I think fans are right to be excited, because he just keeps giving us reasons to remain excited. So I am excited. I think he's a brilliant talent. Again, someone else in the chat mentioned, let's not get too excited, because Ben Doak was like that a few years ago. And we hyped up Ben Doak, not as much as this. This is slightly different, I think. Even though Ben Doak came back and had a good game yesterday, I thought, and that's another talking point. Do we keep Ben Doak around? I actually thought he had a decent game yesterday. But yeah, with Rio, he's the truth. And at times we can't handle the truth, but he is the truth. And I think we should see a lot more of him this year, touch wood.
Cav, Rio, Trey. I'm glad actually Scouse Mo mentioned Trey and Neoni, because he's been impressive as well. And I do like the way Slot has not. Cav, do you know, like, normally in pre-season, we see a whole heap of youngsters left, right, and centre, sporadically given minutes first half, and we don't know what to make of them and who's going on loan. I think he's been very particular, very organised, very coordinated, in only a few selected youngsters are on the tour and giving minutes. It's very, very obvious that they keep, we know which ones he's talking about, and it's Trey and Rio.
Yeah, and look, it's obvious. It's obvious now why, because what Rio has shown us in this preseason already. I mean, I'm with you guys. I think he has got the world at his feet. I think we generally could have just struck gold with this kid. I think that he might see more minutes than perhaps you suggested, Mo. I genuinely think he'll have some starts. I think he'll at least be getting half an hour in games. I see him as like the guy that comes on in the 60th minute. I think what he's already doing is too good to keep out of the side. Now, of course, there's a lot of development to go, and when it comes to sort of Premier League games, Champions League and things like that, it's, yes, the one-on-ones are great. Yes, beating your man's great. But you're going to have to learn that thing that almost Sadio Mane had to when he came to Liverpool, which is the knack of being in the right place at the right time in the box, especially with a player like Mo Salah that often wants to cut inside and put those balls into the box, or play a through ball to a third-man run or a winger or forward that's ran across his defender. And so he's got to have that movement in his game as well to really be what we perhaps need in our Premier League side and our Champions League side. And that's what Cody gives us. And Gakpo's shown that in the second game, that he still has that knack of being in the right place to score the goals. And ultimately, that's what's important. But the sort of wild factor that is Rio, and the ability to just create something from a standing start by beating this man is something that you just are going to need at times. And I just think it's a great option to have because it's completely different to how Gakpo plays. So if both players are on form, and Slot gets his selection right with which one he picks in which game, it's just amazing to be in a situation where you've just got the options there to be able to decide between one of the two of them. Because let's face it, there were periods again last season where Liverpool did struggle against some sides with a low block, and we probably would all have really liked a player like Rio as an option just to come on and just say, go buy 2 or 3 people. Even if you don't score directly or get an assist, you're just going to cause mayhem. You're going to get the opposition thinking, because right now they look too set, they look too comfortable behind the ball. And so even if he's able to come into the team and just forget the stats, just the impact he'll have on the type of player that he is, he's going to be a massive asset already at such a young age. So I think he's got no ceiling, this kid. He could go to the very, very top. And I genuinely think he will, because he's at a place that will give him the opportunity to do so, surrounded by, and this is the difference now with when you were talking about players of old, Mo, is that he will have the pressure of being at Liverpool. Of course he will. And the minutes that he plays will be important, but there's other players in the side that can create, that can score. There's other players that will feed him the ball and trust him, but also offer an option as well. And so I think he's not only in a great club, but he's with great players and in a great side to just allow his potential to really be fulfilled. And I'm so excited to be able to, I mean, I love this team anyway, and I love all the players, but just to have that young player that we can now watch throughout the years, I just get to sit back and we get to enjoy that development.
Eroll, you have a picture that's probably going to be worth quite a few bob. I suspect you have a selfie with young Rio.
It's got my face in it, mate. It's not going to be worth much. Maybe get the magic brush to erase me out of it, like, and it might go for a few quid.
I'm sure there's cats out there that can do that kind of stuff. So don't worry. Yeah. But talk to us about this kid. And you know what I want to know, guys? Do you remember last week? And I put the question in on Twitter this week. If he's the 6th attacker, are we okay with that? But if he's the 5th attacker, knowing Mo's going to be gone away in AFCON, is that a bit unfair to put that much pressure on him? Because then he would become the 4th attacker. Where are you with that in terms of his squad role? And talk to us about this kid.
The kid's special. I echo all of the sentiments that everyone on the panel's kind of touched on already for me. I think one of the things that I'm looking for more than anything else in terms of his own development is one of the key things that I kind of noted doing the watch along yesterday was if we are to use him sporadically, as a couple of the guys have suggested, between the best part of 15, 20, 30 minutes, when you start a game, your first thought is to attack and drive at the ball. And you might have, because I think it was the AC Milan game, especially yesterday, there was moments where he was clearly the outball. And we used that kind of system with Diaz a lot last season. The final ball would end up at Salah or someone who's supposed to be the striker, even if it didn't always work out that way. But the outball, when Liverpool were trying to transition from back to front, you used to go to that left-hand side quite frequently, and we'd see Diaz eat up the ground in order to get us as a team up the pitch. And we've already leaned into Rio's ability of pace, the fact that he can take on a man and he can run at defenders. Now, towards the back end of the game, I noticed that at one point, the only way that Athletic Club could really keep the reins on him was getting 3 men around him at the edge of the box. And I noticed that, that's the highest compliment you can pay a 6. Your head must just go boom. You just must get gassed. I've got 3 men on me, and I'm still trying to wear my way through and dribble into the box, which is phenomenal. But the point that I'm trying to make here is there's a part of me that thinks if your minutes are going to be compressed, your decision making still has to go up 3 to 4 to 5-fold. Because when you've got 90 minutes or a game of 90 minutes, you probably wouldn't see a full 90 at Prem level. But say you had that 70 minutes, those opportunities for you to be the outball and to run at defenders turns into upwards of 7, 8, 9, 10 and upwards. And you can try something in all of those attempts. Whereas if you've only got 15 to 20 minutes, you've now got to condense all of that good work into a short space of time, which then adds to the significance of your decision making. So he's now got to understand and learn when he's making those runs, he might not get another 3 or 5 attempts to run at his man. It's now, is this the time to just cut straight in? And I seen, it might not have been the last game, it might not have been the York, it might have been the AC Milan game, because that was probably the one that I watched in full. There was a few occasions where he tried the same sort of pattern of play, and it almost broke down for him a little bit. And then in the end, he does eventually cut back in. It almost looked like it had been fed back to him that the decision maker has to be more decisive. And as soon as he picked up the ball within minute 2 the other day, yesterday even, he just went. And he just knew, and it was right. I'm going to just cut in, and they've all dropped off. Nobody's engaged me. The decision's already been made in my mind what I need to do here. So from my perspective, it gives me confidence that he's adaptable and he's still got loads of learning to do. But then it also gives me confidence that he will start to slowly get that instruction through to him, that you might not have the luxury of the preseason 60 minutes. You're in a competitive game where you're probably only going to get 3 or 4 dribbles at your fullback. You need to make them count. And what does that look like? Do you understand that this is the guy that you need to go on the outside of, or this is the guy that I can drop my shoulder and I can just beat him if I just do a little feint and go on the inside? And once you're in those moments and you've made that first decision, what's the next play? What is the next thing that you do? And that'll come with time. I'm not expecting him, as the guys have already advised. Let's not put too much pressure on him. He has to learn by making mistakes as well. So I think that the Anfield faithful will give him that luxury. But in terms of where he sits in the pecking order, he's a luxury, but he's a luxury in a position where Liverpool are operating from a position of strength. He should be somebody he's not, we had Sterling. And again, I don't think it's fair to overly compare him to Sterling, but when Sterling had really established himself in that Liverpool side after 13-14 going into 15-16, his vibe, or 14-15, I should say, his vibe was, well, you need me more than I need you. You need what I bring to the table more than what I need you right now.
It was a total different time. It was a total different.
Liverpool
in a different.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a position of strength with him where we can treat him as the luxury. And Sterling should have always been. He should have been treated as a luxury for probably another 18 months, but we just wasn't quite there yet. And his development probably eclipsed where Liverpool was as a team on the pitch at the time. Whereas I think with the likes of Rio, we're going to have such a luxury of position to say, no, it's a as and when we need you situation. You can come in and you can give us your maximum, but you're always going to then, as a result, feel needed, as opposed to, hang on a minute, I know that I've got Liverpool by the short and curlies here, and I'm going to play to that. And I'm going to play up because there's an opportunity for me to move. This lad's future is firmly in Liverpool. He's not the type of talent that you go and send on loan in 2-3 years' time and say, go and develop up the road somewhere. Liverpool are going to mould him to be the type of wide forward that we want. And dare I say it, if we get it right, he could be a Mane regen. He really, as Cav said there, he really could be a Mane type of regen, because he's got the confidence, he's got the electric feet, and he has got, I think, a high level of maturity for such a young age. What was we doing at 16, boys? Do you get me? Like, what was the man them doing at 16? It was not
that. We get censored.
Exactly. It was not scoring goals in front of the Kop and celebrating like I've arrived. That's definitely not what.
Master the knee slide already as well. Are you kidding me?
In the locker.
Best knee slide since Emery can.
The one thing I've really noticed about him since he's come on the scene is, you're absolutely right. All of you guys have talked about his decision making and his releasing of the ball, and this is where Arne Slot deserves so much credit. That is pure Arne Slot telling him, listen, I'm used to technical players, skillful players, but it's all about how you utilize those skills and utilize your teammates. And you can see Rio playing wall passes with fellow players. He plays it into the midfield. He goes on the run. He knows how to, function with the rest of his teammates, and that is amazing for a youngster. Scousma, I want to talk about a couple of possible farewells. It seemed like I don't know what you think. The banner says Nunez and Elliott farewells. Of course, Nunez continues scoring in preseason. He's in a hot streak right now. We should be getting big money for him. And Elliott, by all accounts, done a massive walk around, clapped pretty much every corner of the ground. It looks like it was Nunez and Elliott farewells. Would you say?
I agree. I feel like that was the second time Elliott's done like his farewell as well. To be fair, I think like towards the end of last season, he kind of did a farewell. Went around Anfield. I'm a little bit surprised that Elliott hasn't found the club yet. That's the one thing I'm a bit surprised about. I don't know whether it's that how much money we're asking for. Maybe some clubs are not willing to pay it. But I can see him slotting into so many Premier League teams. I can see him being perfect for Tottenham. Now, especially what the Maddison's injury in that 10th position for Tottenham, he'd be incredible. But yeah, I feel like both of them, it is their farewells. Elliott's, I've always been a huge admirer of Elliott's. He's a really good technical and talented footballer. It's just, for me, it's always been his physical ability. Like, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, he's not the tallest. And that's just the unfortunate part of him. But apart from that, on the ball and his technical ability, he's fantastic. He's a wonderful player. So yeah, I really do wish him well. I'm sure he's going to have an excellent career ahead of him. And with Nunez, resilience in it, like, are we keeping them or what? Nah, I'm joking. Nunez is a one that we were expected from probably all last year. He hardly played.
Can I ask a question there though to the panel? Because obviously, I think he's one of the most divisive figures that we've had for a very long time, Nunez. But when we did the poll last night, we had like nearly 3,000 people watching on Redmen, and not when I say only, 52% said they'd sell. Which meant that 48% said that they'd probably keep him. Do you think it's that close? Or do you think...
Eroll, I'll be honest, I genuinely don't understand how this player has so much people supporting him to this day. Like, we know what you're going to get out of Nunez.
I'm one of them, bro. I still back him. I still back the team, bro.
Did you see this?
What about this?
There's 5 of us here. Okay, there's 5 of us here. Okay, we're just going to do a show of hands. So Eroll talks about the split, right, on Redmen last night, right? Let's talk about the split on just today's Red Room panel, right? Those for keeping him, raise your hands now.
Wow.
So there you go. So you see what I mean? So it's split. It's always going to be split.
Do you know why though? Go on.
We need literally a new striker who knows the offside rule. He kept himself offside. We've had a striker for the better part of 3 years now who doesn't know the offside rule. Don't get me wrong, physical ability, he's got all the talent-wise, he's got it all there. It's the IQ. You can't teach IQ.
But you know what? Do you know my only counter to that? And I've said this again. Like, I don't know if any of these are into Marvel, but in order for us to get Spider-Man, Peter Parker has to lose Uncle Ben. And then we get the neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man as a result. I think, and it's not just the Jota incident, so don't get lost in that. But I think he lost his granddad as well a few weeks before. I think Nunez has had a canon event this summer that has happened in his life that makes him realize life is short, and I am an incredibly lucky human being with an immense amount of talent. If I lock in properly and hone my craft, I can still be one of Europe's best strikers. And I think whether he's in a Liverpool shirt this season or he's in a shirt for another team across Europe, watching Darwin Nunez this season, I think he is going to have an incredible goal return. I don't know who it's for us or it's for somebody else, but I think this season is going to be the season where you see him go from a bit of a juvenile, and it's that Simba moment where he's on the branch and he's wagging his hair, and then the next minute he's got the mane. He's going to be a proper lion come the end of it. And Cavs on.
All right. I'm back in.
Look, I can see him having a great career. If he
goes to reverse me on him now.
No, let's stop this, boys. I don't know what's going on. Let's stop.
Nunez,
the only reason Cavs back in is because of the Spider-Man.
It's the propaganda, man. I don't know, man. Stop this. Look, I can't lie. Look,
I'm a wordsmith. Wait, Smith, what can I say?
Like, you sold them. You're not selling me a Grizz, I'll be honest. Like, I've been Nunez out since the day I seen him. I can't even lie. When he does leave the club eventually, whether that's Saudi Arabia or he goes somewhere in Europe, I agree with you. I feel like he'll have a great career because there's a footballer in there and somebody will hopefully, just get that out of him, get that footballing ability out of him. But we got no time for that, man. We're trying to win big. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to see somebody missing sitters from 3 yards out. We've already seen it this preseason when we played against AC Milan. What was he doing with that finish? Like, it was a clear finish it with your right foot and he went with his left foot. It was just strange. But the guy is just a strange person. His mind is strange. Like, he's done a lot for us. Thank you for your service, but cash in right now and good luck to you in the future of your career. And we're bringing in a much better player, hopefully. So
shall I tell you? I think again, Slot's handled it brilliantly. He's come in and he's realized I've got a 70 million pound striker here, and I've got to give him a chance and see how it works out. And I think very quickly Slot has realized guys. Let me break it down to you. And I know Mo, I know Welsh Mo and Eroll are big fans of the player, and I know Cav has flip-flopped in the time that I've known him, and me and Mo are very adamant that he's not the one. I'm telling you now, Slot doesn't think anything of him at all. I think he's the most unslot player ever. Slot signings have indicated, and the way he likes his forwards is all about intelligence. And this guy's biggest weakness is his lack of footballing intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't know how many BA honors he's got and how many degrees he's done.
Football intelligence, yes.
His footballing intelligence, and he's just so not Arne Slot type forward. And I'm telling you that for a fact without knowing. Slot tell me on a WhatsApp that nah, he's not my type of forward. I'm sorry. The way we played the game, and we're going to go on to the second game in a few minutes. He's just so not a slot player. But look, I get there.
No, but that's what I don't get though, Grizz. Like that poll that you did, Eroll, on Red Men TV, where you said 48% of people wanted to keep Nunez in. I watch every single Liverpool game, and I can't really say that I've ever rated Nunez. So, like, what is it that I'm missing? Like, I genuinely want to know what I'm missing. What is it?
We're not going to go into Nunez chat because we've got so many other things to chat about. He's going. So let's talk about, yeah, exactly. Let's talk about, let's go on to the second game. And look, the second game was all about, I guess these three players that I've mentioned. I'm going to come to you, Welshmo, first. Is there anything else that stood out for you, or these the players that we need to speak on? And I mean, we talk about getting carried away and gassed in the first game and Rio and everything, but that opening 15, 20 minutes of a brand new team in a quite competitive game, Bilbao were up for it, it seemed. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it was scintillating stuff.
It was amazing yesterday. Some parts of and some of our passage of plays, the one-touch passing and the fluidity, and what stood out to me is our counter-attacking as well. Like, we were just so quick transitioning from defense to attack. It was beautiful to watch. It was, honest to God. Some of it was just, I was like, wow, this is amazing. If this is slot ball, then give me more, On top of those three players there, Salah, Wirtz, Ekitike, I think one of the standout players for me who doesn't get mentioned enough and probably will have a good season because he's got less responsibility. Dom was my man of the match by a country mile yesterday. And I think where he is now in that 8th position with no responsibility to create, I think that pressure taken off him for creating and just be an engine, a back and forth, a box to box. I think he was brilliant yesterday, and I think he's found his calling in the Liverpool team. I genuinely think that. I think yesterday showed us what Szoboszlai can actually bring to this team without having that pressure of creating and trying to do these little flick-ons, which Wirtz can do for us now. You be the runner, you be the water boy, and let everybody else do all the flicks and tricks and stuff. And he started making more late runs
as well, but he can do that as well.
That's the thing, he could do that, but before last season, there was pressure on him to create.
I agree.
That creation now is being taken away with him with Salah and Wirtz there now. Now he's bombing back and forth, covering, even breaking into the box late as well, which we saw a few times, which we didn't see much last year. I think we'll see a different Szoboszlai this year. I genuinely do think that.
Cav, you already know my thoughts on Szoboszlai. he named him the Hungarian Gerrard. But did we see more glimpses of what Grizz actually saw in him? Maybe early doors. Szoboszlai in a deeper role. Your thoughts on the sort of the tactical change? And like Mo says, is this a future move that will enhance his Liverpool career? And Slot has seen that maybe, he can be utilized in both positions, but more deeper.
Yeah, I think he was one of the early ones, along with Mo, at the start of the preseason that just looked ready already. You know, he looked already sharp. He looked fit. Didn't look like he really needed a preseason. He could start the season straight away, you know, after the first game. But yesterday was particularly special of a performance. It was everything. It was box to box. It was tackling. It was doubling up in the press. It was the short passing, sharp, quick 1-2s, flicks, tricks, step overs, the long range passing as well. That's what he's going to be able to offer from deep. You know, he's spreading the ball that we often see Virgil play across to Salah. He was doing that as well. He was the heartbeat of the team yesterday. He was everything, the proper engine. And it was important that he had a performance like that, I think, because with Florian Wirtz coming in now and paying that kind of money and the talent that he is, he's going to go in that 10 position, regardless of whether there's an early conversation about who it should be between him and Szoboszlai. And it was important that Szoboszlai finds a new position on the pitch to remain in the side. Now, it just so happens that McAllister played in the first game and he still looks like he's one of the midfielders that's still sort of getting up to fitness a little bit. But it opened the door for Szoboszlai to go, well, I'll go in that left side 8 position and I'll show you what I can do there. And now we've got a beautiful headache in what do we do? I know Grav's out first game of the season, so that probably selects itself. But after that, he returns. Who do you pick? I think we've got an incredible pool of midfielders now. And one thing I was really excited about Florian Wirtz coming in, not the player himself, because that's obvious, but it's what he was going to unlock in this side. You know, I thought that in McAllister and Gravenberch especially, we've got incredibly technical footballers that want to play. But the way that the season panned out last time round and just needing to get across the line and maybe a bit fatigue and everything else, and Slot's first year, I think that sort of technical ability got held back a little bit and it got lost with a bit more of a slower tempo and sideways passing and recycling the ball and putting your foot on it for a bit too long. And actually, I think someone Florian Wirtz going in there now is like, no, tempo. Give it, I'm a receiver, I'm gonna offer a pass and I'm giving it you back. So go do something with it. I'm not playing a 1-2 with you pretty quick for you to then go slow it down. And I feel like he's kind of unlocked the next level of this short, sharp, technical ability with the flair in it from our midfielders as well. And it's only from being just silky on the ball, calm, and just your passing accuracy and the tempo behind it. So I think that our players are going to flourish through having Florian in the side. And yesterday showcased that. And Szoboszlai, and I think Curtis Jones, we could probably speak about in the same respect as well, are one of those where you can often forget the technical ability that they have, the skills that they have, because we focus so much on what they've been bringing to the side. And I think those two players in particular now are going to look at the likes of Florian Wirtz and Salah, to be fair to him, dropping into pockets, flicking the ball around, being press resistant, riding presses, playing at such a pace where they're like, to keep up with that pace, I'm going to have to show that skill. I'm going to have to show that flair. I'm going to have to be at the level that the others are. And then it just makes for incredible football. And I'm not going to shy away from it. I know it was pre-season, but that first half especially, I was watching the passes going, what? And then like it lead to a goal or it didn't. But I loved it. And it feels like such a long time since I've loved watching football like that from Liverpool. Like, I know we won the league last season, but I can't recall too many times that we played football that well. It was brilliant to see. And I just think that the midfielders now are gonna take the game to the next level with that technical ability. And Szoboszlai is just a key part in it. And I'm really excited, man. The guy's a unit, and I don't know where he gets that engine from. Honestly, it's 90 minutes. He starts off with the long hair, and then by the end of the 90, it's just wet look fucking swishing everywhere, and it's mental. But he looks like a proper footballer, and I love it, man. I love it so much.
Eroll, talking about looking like a proper footballer. I know he cost 116 or 17 million, but Florian Wirtz showed glimpses, and again, just glimpses, and again, it's preseason. It's just a form of fitness and training. But the telepathic understanding he seems to have formed already with Ekitike, who was impressive of his own accord, and the main man himself. Because if you want to succeed at Liverpool, you must have an understanding of your role when it comes to Mohamed Salah. And you know what? It boded so well, the way they linked up and the understanding they've got already. He was making, do you remember last season where Szoboszlai was making those inside forward runs and Salah would play that pass behind the fullback? He was doing that with Wirtz already. But Wirtz has got that nimble feet, maybe, and agility in terms of taking on players and fleet-footedness that Szoboszlai maybe hasn't, to get in those positions and create a bit more. What do you think about sort of the Salah, Wirtz, and Ekitike link up, bro?
Yeah, I mean, for the car analogy, you know, Wirtz is a little Ferrari, and he's a little whippet in that space. He's nimble, tidy, quick-footed. I like that. Szoboszlai is a four-wheel drive. He's got the engine. He's got the brake horsepower. He's got that, you know, kind of rev to him. But in those tight spaces, doesn't necessarily work in the same way. I think one of the things that is impressed me about Wirtz is Wirtz and Szoboszlai are going to have this hive mind this season, and I've said it now, so you'll see it. The hive mind is Szoboszlai can think it, Wirtz can execute it. So all that pressure that you, man, were saying before about, you know, Szoboszlai from last season, and, you know, it didn't quite click for him in the 10 sometimes, and he had moments where he struggled. I think he knew the picture. The picture was still all there. It was just sometimes the speed, as the Prem might have just caught him off guard ever so slightly, the opposition, the physicality, and he's probably just he's went in himself a little bit because there's so much going on and everything's been played at 100 miles an hour, where Wirtz is actually built for that model. So now Szoboszlai is going, all right, calm. I will be the guy that now can actually scream, run, make up the ground, eat up the space, absolutely destroy facilitate. And I know when I play that ball into you, you see the same picture that I saw, but you'll get the ball to that next phase of where it needs to be in a blink.
But not only him. Shall I tell you the beauty of it, guys?
Go on, yeah.
Not only him, Gravenberch also is of that mindset, you can tell. And McAllister hasn't even stepped on the same pitch as them. And we know McAllister can fit in with any type of footballer in the world. This is what I mean. And obviously the cherry on the cake is incoming as well, who's a marvelous footballer, as well as being a target man, brute strength, pace, you know, everything that Nunez isn't in Alexander Isak. But I think you're spot on. I think the wavelength, what you're talking about, the mental wavelength, already very early doors is quite, you can see the synchronized moves already. Bodes well. And this is down to coaching, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, there hasn't been enough. You do your 1,000 hours, you become a professional. Do you get me? They haven't done their 1,000 hours with each other yet. So a lot of this is still intuitive. But the fact that they will be able to make this connection intuitively leads me to think that, especially the likes of Szoboszlai, especially the likes of Florian Wirtz, they will have that type of telepathy to be able to say, well, once I've played you the ball in there, you're going to spin, and then you're going to play somebody else in there, or you're going to drop your shoulder, and then there's going to be an overlap, and Salah's going to be there, or Frimpong's going to be there, and then there's going to be the passes on. And all of those little things yesterday, again, it was... what was the game? It was the AC Milan game. The one thing that I noticed was what a difference a month can make, because that forward line of Rio, Salah, and Wirtz in that AC Milan game, they looked like they wanted to play each other in. They wanted to play the passes around the corner. They wanted to play that interpassing, give and goes. But because they hadn't had enough time with each other yet, it just wasn't. It looked a little bit like it was just it wasn't going to quite click in that game, and that's fine. That's what the preseason's for. But less than a month later, you can already see the vast improvements. And that is your point of where Slot's come in now and said, right, I can see what you guys are trying to do, and it's great, and I'm here for it. But these are the little moments, these are the intricacies now that we're going to work on over the next couple of weeks. And eventually we will slowly start to see it all unfold in front of our eyes. And I genuinely think Florian Wirtz now, not necessarily in the same facilitator role, but he's going to be the executor. He's going to be the magician, really, to make the magic happen. But we've got the base and the foundation with really highly intelligent footballers with really high level technical ability that will be able to find him in all of those little pockets of space that he wants to do his best work. And I think that's because Dominic Szoboszlai is not necessarily tried and failed, but he's had the lived experience to say, well, I know what was expected of me. I know where they was expecting me to be last season. So I already know that you're going to pick up that space now, because that's just your natural inclination to go into these pockets, into these holes. So as long as I can find you and I can thread the ball into you, I've done my job. I can sit back screen and review the whole picture, and you can go and just lift up the wand, left foot, right foot, pick out a pass, drop a shoulder, and hopefully, as I say, feed the likes of an Alexander Isak. I thought Salah as well. Ekitike, that Salah goal, the look on Salah's face when he scored, it was almost telling to say, if this is the kind of service I'm going to get this season, I'm going to score goals for fun. We're eating good. I'm being, because he just looked like, really? This is how easy it's going to be? Like,
this is the segue that I was waiting for, and this is why you're the professional you are. Scout Smoke. The name on everyone's lips obviously is Isak, and we've talked it to death, and we're not going to touch upon it today. When he signs, we'll have plenty of shows and talking points about it. But I think it's very important to see how the way Ekitike has handled this. So all the fury, even though he's the 70 million pound striker that's actually got the shirt and playing for Liverpool, right? I thought his performance was so encouraging, Mo. I love the way he's handling the move so far. If you know what I mean, like they must know Isak is on his way. There's talks behind the scenes. We know, like, players talk and everything else, right? But he doesn't. He gave me the impression, I don't care. I'm Hugo Ekitike. I'm also a wonderful player, my own caliber. And you know what? He showed me. I don't want to mention Nunez again, but he showed me bits already, bro. And just by what even Eroll said, that cutback, the intelligence, the movement, and the rest of the link-up play.
I'll be honest, like, already you can see the mentality of this Ekitike.
Mentality.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, before we signed them, the club must have told them, listen, we're going for Isak as well. We're going to hopefully try and sign Isak this summer. So you're coming in alongside them. It didn't faze him. And after the match the other day, he came out on the interview and he was talking about the Community Shield. And with a stern face, he's like, I just want to win it all. I just want to win everything. That mentality is amazing. That's the type of mentality you need. And going back to something Cav was saying earlier about this, the transfer window this season and the lads that we brought in, I love one in Wirtz. It just seems like he's just slotted into the team so seamlessly. Like, it hasn't been like a big transition for him. He feels like he's best friends with everyone and he's been around for years already. Caliber, like the mentality of these players that we're signing already is phenomenal. Not just their footballing ability, but their footballing ability is ludicrous. As you just mentioned, Grizz, with like just watching that 45 or like 60 minutes yesterday of Ekitike, you realize what we was missing out on with Nunez over the last couple of years.
Boy, stayed on side, hit the byline and crossed it. I'm good with that.
I know, but it's not just that. The lad's 6'4". How is he moving like this? Like, he's so agile, he's rapid, he's going down the byline, couple of step overs, cutting in. The pass back to Salah was unbelievable. And speaking of Salah, where's Salah's new contract? I want another one. I want another right now. I'm calling for Salah's new contract now. 2 years is not enough. I don't
Hey, isn't it beautiful to go through a summer without talking about Salah? It's mental. We barely even spoken about Salah and we're going into a new season. Like, he's going to be our top goal scorer and top assist to get, you know. Despite all these names we've signed and might sign, Style is still there.
Sorry, I know it's only preseason, but he's looking better than ever. Like, it's unbelievable. Some of the
through ball he played. Do you see the through ball? The creativity is just going up again.
The creativity that he's showcasing over, it's only preseason, we need to caveat that, but the creativity that he is showcasing over this preseason has been insane. And with the technical ability, the players around them now, with Frimpong as well, and with Ekitike or hopefully Isak, with Vert, already you can see like there's a link up between them two. Every time Vert, as Eroll was mentioning, he can read the game. He's already a couple of steps ahead. As soon as he gets the ball, who's he looking for? He's looking for that pass to Salah. He's looking for that pass out wide Salah, and then he's crashing into the box. And with Szoboszlai, with this deeper role, and look, I hate to say I told you so, but Grizz and Cav, both of you, were on like a podcast with me like a couple of months ago, back in like December and that. And you were all calling for a DM, screaming and shouting for a DM. And I was like, no, we don't need a DM. Go get me an attacking midfielder and push Szoboszlai back. He's not an attacking midfielder, push him back. I ain't say I told you so, but we're here now. Do you know what I mean? So give me my flowers for that.
I'm not sure we're here, Mo, because
hey, look, it's in the group chat as well, so my evidence is there. All I'm saying is I'm ahead of the game with that one. Just saying.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Have your flowers.
So Szoboszlai in that 8 is just exactly what we need. His energy, his engine. I think it was a perfect analogy by Eroll before. He's a 4x4. That engine, the horsepower, you need that in your team. He brings a little bit of structure, and he covers the pitch. But then also is the box crashing ability. Last season, his problem was in the tight spaces. He probably wasn't the most technically gifted. He didn't read the game that well. That's where Vitz is going to come in. He's going to be able to link up. Honestly, it's a beautiful conundrum that we have in terms of who's going to play in that midfield. Is it going to be? You can't drop McAllister. You can't really drop Gravenberch. But in my opinion, you can't drop Szoboszlai. But then you can't drop Vitz. Like, this is beautiful, boys. I can't believe this world that we're living in right now as Liverpool fans. And this season that we're about to go into, I have never been this excited, like genuinely. The football that we're going to see next season is going to be jaw-dropping. Absolutely jaw-dropping.
This is where the equalizer comes in to just calm everyone down and relax, because defensively there were a few issues, namely set pieces. And obviously the simple answer is no Virgil van Dijk in the team, and this is what you're going to get when there's no Virgil van Dijk in the team. I've spoken about sort of the height of the team. I know we've increased the height with the signing of Ekitike, and then the incoming Isak as well, Gakpo. So we've got 4, 5, 6 footers, but we haven't got any defensive minded that love getting themselves in amongst it 6 footers. Do you see a problem, or will it be coached out of us? Mo, we should be fine once Virgil comes back, Konate regains a bit of form and fitness, and as I said, the rest of the other forwards that are all 6 foot seemingly now. Or is there concerns?
This is my thing I wanted to bring up, and not to put a downer of everyone's hype.
Yeah, let's not end on a downer, but go on. I hear you. Go on.
Like, I thought about it, and I'm being a bit gluttonous and selfish. I want it all, and what I mean by that is, I look at Liverpool sometimes from a defense point of view, and I think we still have a weak underbelly. You know, too many teams get at us, and we concede goals, needless goals, mainly from set pieces as well. And I don't want to put a comparison, but I'm going to compare Arsenal, for example. Arsenal defensively are quite solid, and you know they don't concede many goals. And every season they buy a defender. I think the last defender we bought was Konate, wasn't it? Not 2019. I can't recall buying it.
Perkins now, but
yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah. So I just think defensively, I don't want to go through a season again where Jordan Henderson or Fabinho is playing centre back for us. And this week has shown us that we've got one fit centre back at the moment. And let's be honest, it's a long season with 4 or 5 competitions. If Virgil picks up an injury or Ibu, are we going to have Endo at the back now? I mean, come on. As good as Endo was yesterday, we have to be realistic a little bit. We still have a weak underbelly. We're still pretty poor at defending corners, and we're pretty poor at attacking corners as well. I don't even get excited when we get corners anymore because we don't do anything with them. Let's be honest here. And I'm not trying to put a Debbie Downer. What Arsenal don't bring is what we bring is the one-touch football, the moving forward, the attacking prowess. Arsenal just go sideways, you know? So I can't be selfish. I can't want to have it all. But what I do want to see is just that defensive solidity, you know? There's going to be games where we're at times against a couple of teams in the league where we're not going to have much of the ball. They're going to have more of a ball than this. And we need to be defensively set up with that. Yesterday, the wing-backs were brilliant, in my opinion. We had such pace on the wing-backs. Frimpong was amazing. And I think Frimpong silenced my concerns whether he could defend because he locked up Nico Williams. Nico Williams didn't even have run at him. I think Kirkes yesterday was more defensively approached than Frimpong, and I think you may see that in some of the games where one fullback will be more attacking, one fullback will be a bit more reserved and helping out the centre backs. But I have a serious concern about our centre back situation. Joe Gomez is not reliable. As good as we love him, he's not reliable. He's in his later years, he's made out of paper. Verge, okay, let's hope it's just a flu or whatever it is, a stomach bug. Ibu has had concerns in the past. So I just think we need a centre back, and we're getting linked with this Leone and this Greek fella, and obviously the Gay he talks won't get away. I really want us to get a centre back before the window closes. If we don't, I'll be seriously worried, and that's
the last
where
time
I'm
we
leaving.
Season with 3 centre backs, we know how that ended for
No,
us.
we don't want to
Exactly.
go down.
Exactly. So, do you want to go through that again? Do you want to see Endo centre back? And as much as we love Endo, and he was brilliant yesterday, by the way, centre back. It kind of silenced my nerves a little bit, but against a full-on proper teams, with a competitive match, not a friendly, you might see things differently.
I think it's the one area that's left now where we haven't got that depth that we have everywhere else on the pitch now. Like you go through our midfield, we've mentioned the 3 possible stars, and then there's Curtis Jones and even Szoboszlai. If you say McAllister, Gravenberch, and Wirtz are the stars, just for argument's sake, like I don't think they are. Szoboszlai is a starter in this team somewhere, somehow. But that's 5, 6 frontline midfielders. But at centre back, there is an issue, and I think we will have to address it. And like Eroll says, relax, kick back. We will address it. We're just so, we're functioning at such an optimum level now. There's nothing to worry about or panic about. But lads, time has flown, like literally flown, and we must call it a day. I'd like to thank everyone that's joined us today. Thank you very much. Still 5,000 watching on Twitter. I don't even know on YouTube and on Facebook. But thank you very much for the support, the love. Make sure you've liked and subscribed if you haven't already. Go and check out the guys, what they're doing in their own individual platforms. Eroll, thank you very much. Cav, thank you very much. I'm thanking you because I never used to thank you because it was a regular occurrence, but I know you guys are busy and doing so much bits that I feel as though I need to thank you for making a special appearance, but hopefully much more regular. Thank you very much first.
Shout me, bro. You shout me, man, and I'll turn up, man, of course.
And of course, the 2 Mo's, Scouse Mo, Welsh Mo, thank you very much for joining us as well and giving us your opinions and thoughts. And until next week, guys, God knows what next week will bring. This time next year, Rodney will be millionaires. What am I talking about? Only fools and horses. But this time,
we'll have the shield with us by next week.
This time next week, we may have a trophy. Another trophy in the cupboard. Does it count? We'll discuss it.
I call it silverware. You call it silverware. No one can take that away from you.
Listen, we may have another pot, and then we'll discuss the merits of it. And if we don't win it, we know what happens. It's gonna be another friendly. But until then, peace, love, and tranquility to you all. Take